Welcome to EduPlanet 21's 10-Minute Tuesdays, conversations with experts in education. My name is Claire Coop-Scott, and I lead the content team at EduPlanet 21. Today, I'm excited to be joined by Jay McTighe, co-author of Understanding by Design. Jay is an author of many books, and he consults with districts and schools around the globe. Jay, thank you for joining me. Let's start with the basics. What is Understanding by Design, and why is it important for schools to use a curriculum framework?
Understanding by Design is basically a curriculum planning framework. It has a particular focus, which is developing curriculum and learning experiences that will help students develop and deepen their understanding of important ideas, ultimately so they can transfer their learning. In a world in which we can Google much of the world's information on a smartphone, and a world which is changing rapidly and increasingly unpredictable, it makes sense for a modern education to not just develop basic skills or basic information in students, but to help them understand the larger transferable ideas so they can transfer their learning, they can apply their learning to new situations. That's one of the big areas of focus in Understanding by Design. Another part of Understanding by Design is gathering evidence of learning. If we say that we want students to be able to transfer their learning and that we want them to develop and deepen understanding of important ideas, we need evidence of their ability to do those things. So a big part of UBD is gathering evidence of student understanding and transfer. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, one of the underpinning goals of Understanding by Design is to help teaching and learning become more engaging for students, more relevant, more meaningful. Many teachers have done this over the years, tried to make their teaching and learning more engaging for students. But we have ideas in UBD that will help it be more likely by design.
When a district is ready to start implementing UBD, what are some great first steps that they can take?
Well, one of the first steps that I advise is to think about Understanding by Design as an answer. So if it's an answer, what questions is it answering? Rather than introducing UBD as one more new thing that teachers are expected to do, I prefer that school leaders begin by posing, for example, a series of questions, such as, how do we know our students really understand the things we're teaching? What's worth most understanding in all that we have to teach? To what extent are our students genuinely engaged in learning, or are they just going through the motions? Are we testing everything that we claim to value, or just the things that are easiest to test and grade? Questions like these stimulate discussions and ideally will set up a need for Understanding by Design. So let's start with questions. Let's start with setting up a need, as opposed to implying that this is the latest silver bullet that's going to fix education. Once you've made the case for UBD, then there's a need for professional development and support. And this can be done through workshops, bringing in consultants from Mac associates, and using EduPlanet online learning paths to introduce the ideas of UBD to teachers and give them practice in using it. Along the way, we want to monitor results. So it's not about filling in boxes on a template as much as it is seeing the effect of our curriculum plans and our teaching on students. Are they more engaged? Do the assessments reveal that they're actually demonstrating understanding and ability to transfer? And like every coach knows, we look at game film and adjust next week's practice. Teachers and teacher teams should look at the results of their teaching and of their curriculum and make adjustments to improve the quality of student performance.
Why is technology a critical tool for curriculum design?
I started teaching many years ago, and the day before computers were prominent even, and the internet was ever present. And I remember curriculum planning was basically done on notebooks, and curriculum mapping was done where we pasted topics on a giant board, and then we could look for vertical and horizontal alignment. I also remember being a teacher in a large school district. Every August, we would get a shrink-wrapped packet, which was our new curriculum, and it had 3 holes in the binder, and we would put it into our curriculum binders. Well, thankfully, as the world has moved digitally, so too has education and curriculum. So typically now people use computers and online resources to develop and to house their curriculum. But not all technology is of equal value. I work with many schools and districts where individual teachers will plan curriculum using whatever program they have available. It may be Microsoft Word, and they do it individually, but what they do doesn't connect to anyone else's work. Some school districts have adopted Google Docs, and that makes sense in the sense that you can store the curriculum in folders and 2 or more teachers can collaborate. That a system like Google Docs and Google Folders is really inadequate if your goal is a coherent and connected and aligned curriculum. You need a system that's more robust, that can allow teachers to share with each other, and that allows school and district leaders to actually look at the curriculum in large. Print out reports to see, are we in fact aligned? Is there unnecessary redundancy? Or are there important outcomes or standards that are falling through the cracks? A system like EduPlanet software is much better suited not only to individual teachers planning units and teams collaborating on curriculum design, but on school and district leaders being able to see the macro curriculum and plug in the gaps and smooth out the redundancies.
Can you talk about the EduPlanet 21 platform and why it is the best solution?
Yeah, I've chosen to work with EduPlanet 21 for a couple of reasons. First is a recognition that we need smart software to support curriculum design, not only by individual teachers, but especially school and district-wide. The EduPlanet unit planning software is user-friendly, and it's literally the only software program in the world that's licensed commercially and built upon the UBD 2.0 template. There are some versions out there that emulate or try to replicate some aspects of understanding by design, but EduPlanet 21 really has the best software for unit planning. Moreover, EduPlanet is building the macro curriculum software system that will support building a coordinated overall school and district curriculum and enable leaders to look at reports on how the curriculum is aligned, what redundancies might be in place that need to be smoothed out, and maybe some areas that need greater emphasis. Without the ability to see the overall curriculum, you can't address those system problems. EduPlanet software supports that. Another unique feature of EduPlanet 21 is its professional learning support system. Through learning paths and online modules, teachers can actually learn about understanding by design, even as they're designing using the software. They can share with other teachers within and even across districts, and leaders can use the system to both develop and support teachers in their curriculum work. So in sum, it's the best curriculum ecosystem out there.
Jay, thanks for joining me today. I look forward to future conversations.